What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to the old subscribers. If you're new here, welcome. I realize that I've been kind of MIA on my channel compared to how I used to be. I'm just, life is just life, and I work a lot. Kids, doing what I gotta do. So I'm gonna do a general message and see what kind of messages come out. If the shoe fits, wear it. If not, then maybe it's not for you. There's an intro on my channel that lists any information on how to get a hold of me for readings, etc. More information about me. For some of you guys, I feel like it's really time to kind of focus in on yourself, what brings you peace, whether it's meditation, spending some time outside by yourself, by water. Some of you guys may have been in scenarios either presently or in the past where maybe you felt like you got left out, or you were homeless, or you're just not really sure what direction to go next. And I feel like you're really guarded, but it's not for no reason. I feel like there's a lot of things that we hold internally, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. A lot of it is subconsciously, things that we've been through as a child. And it's really hard to process things as you get older, especially if you're not taught or you're not sure what you're still holding on to. And I feel like there's a lot of regret and loss here, whether it's you or another person that you're dealing with. I feel like maybe one or both of you just wasn't in the right place at the right time. Maybe it was right person, wrong place, something like that. I just feel like there's a lot of unknowns as to why this didn't move forward, because maybe you both equally wanted this, but then there was a scenario where maybe someone got bored, maybe someone thought the grass would be greener somewhere else. It's because we live in a culture where if something doesn't look right to us or it doesn't go our way, then we automatically go to the next thing that we think will be better. But we always linger in that regret sometimes, where you might have let something go that you didn't mean to, and a part of you kind of holds on to that. And there's a lot of healing that should be done, but I think that a lot of people need to understand that true healing has to be done on your own, by yourself, solo, dealing with yourself, and that's not easy to do. Maybe this is about having healthy connections and not knowing how to accept that, because we have our walls up from old things that we've been through. And I think that it's important to build yourself back up, whether it's brick by brick, day by day, step by step, finding that confidence in yourself, finding that new direction moving forward. For some of you guys, I think that there's a scenario here that is divinely guided, and it starts with figuring out what truly makes you happy, because that's the only way you can be happy with another person, is if you figure out what makes you happy on your own. Having the confidence in yourself and being in someone's corner. A lot of relationships start with lust and they don't go much further than that. Maybe taking the time to get to know someone, maybe spending some time being single, maybe taking that time to balance out yourself, whether it's hormones or your body or just life, healing, spending that time healing and not keeping it all to yourself necessarily, but then going towards something new, something that you might not know what happens, but at the same time, maybe just know that you're being guided towards something good, and that the only thing holding you back is really your mind. Where you could have more than one option or outcome to a scenario that could still end well, just maybe not how you thought. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I think that we're so used to doing things a certain way because we know that how the outcome is going to be. So that's why we continue to do that. But the only way we can get anything new or better by whatever standard is by doing something new. And a lot of us have been through heartbreak. A lot of us have been hurt to the core. And I think that affects what we want moving forward. That affects how we're viewed. But some of you guys just need to, maybe tone in how you're thinking, how you're talking to people, how you come across. I think, if you're in a vulnerable state or you're still healing, just being honest about that. Maybe getting some, mental health help, or just keeping that part of you in check, or writing a journal if you don't want to talk to another person. But it's like, it's okay to give to something and not know how to receive it, but just communicating that and being open, I think, is the biggest thing, regardless. Maybe learning small ways to let your guard down regardless of what's happened in the past, because I feel like some of you guys genuinely want to go towards something. It's something that you think would make you happy, but maybe there's arguing, there's breakups, maybe you feel like it's going to be the same thing that happened before. Maybe you guys need to spend some time thinking about how you truly feel about this person, but also communicating that instead of shutting them out, instead of thinking that it's not going to work out for you, holding that energy that it will, and that you're being guided towards something really great, and that it could be what you wanted it to be, and it doesn't have to be a negative scenario. Some of you guys are really good homemakers, mothers. Some of you guys like to cook. I feel like some of you guys have someone around you that maybe does a lot of things that you don't really notice them doing for you. Maybe the truth of the situation is they keep to themselves because they feel like you're doing something that would be unfavorable in this relationship, because you're not satisfied with yourself, or they're not satisfied, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like there's someone who's really sad because they do a lot of things for you and you just don't seem to notice, and you don't really communicate. And when you do, maybe you snap at them, or maybe you don't really realize the effect of your words on another person. I feel like this could be on both sides of the fence, and I think that it's important to remember that no matter what we do to another person in this world, in this life, it always comes back to us. So be prepared to not only stand on what you say, but be prepared to receive that back as well. And work on those parts of yourself that maybe you don't want to see coming back, flying in your face at the wrong time. Some of you guys have opportunities to work for yourself, to be an entrepreneur, but it's going to come at a loss of something or someone. And I think that a part of you is afraid to move forward because of this loss that you've taken. But at the same time, there's new things being brought in. And I think some of you guys just need to understand that you can be fulfilled in all ways, regardless of what you've been through. Some of you guys spend a lot of time fighting about things and arguing about things. And I think that it's time to just let that go, because it's kind of fucking you up mentally, and it's affecting the way you feel. It's affecting the way that you work. Maybe it's time to go somewhere, take a drive, take a trip. Some of you guys have a lot of stress, a lot of things on your plate, and maybe it's time to go back to school, start that trade, start that business on your own, and do something that it is that you're truly passionate about, whether it's music or college, school. Maybe it's teaching for some of you guys, because there are new opportunities here that are all around you, but it's just deciding and standing in whatever energy that you want. I feel like some of you guys have this higher up watching, whether it's a boss, whether it's a person And I think that it's important to let your light or your skills or whatever it is that you're truly passionate about shine, so that people see who you truly are, not what you've been through. It's important to take all the broken pieces of everything that you've been through and put them back together, however that looks, and be honest, like, this is what I've been through, this is why I am the way I am. No, I'm not perfect, but at the same time, this is me, I'm real, I'm raw, and it is what it is, because I think a lot of us have inner child healing. A lot of us have trouble with our emotions. A lot of us are genuine people, but maybe the version that we show to our friends sometimes isn't who we really are. Maybe it's finding the right connections in people and friends and places. Some of you guys are in a scenario where you might be losing a property where you live. Some of you guys are worried about a court outcome. I think that there will be help here for you, or an opportunity to maybe defend yourself, or state the truth if there's something happened that didn't happen the way that it was portrayed, or maybe just having your own voice and having your own say in a certain situation, because maybe the other party in this situation doesn't understand everything that you're going through, or how much you really have on your plate, or how it is that you truly feel, because of maybe a misconception or a preconceived notion or something that someone said. Some of you guys are truly healing people, and I think that it's important to remember that the lotus flower grows in mud, and it comes out, and it's this beautiful thing, and it just is what it is, no matter where it came from. And I think that we can't control sometimes how we were brought up, how we were raised, how we were treated. The only thing that we can control is how we deal with it moving forward, and a lot of that has to do with doing like internal work on ourselves, figuring out what makes us happy, recognizing and accepting the failures and the heartbreaks in life, because through that is how we are going to find and appreciate the good things that happen in life. Some of you guys are amazing musicians. Some of you guys are truly peaceful, like Zen energy. Some of you guys are really beautiful people, but I think that it's hard to know that because you're so defensive when it comes to things, or maybe people don't know what it is that you really want. And I think that most of all, this is about becoming stable, staying stable, whether that's emotionally or financially. And I feel like these opportunities are being brought to you to partner with another person, and it will be equal if that's what you're worried about, or you will get that loan, but you have to make this decision about what it is that you want to do and who it is that you truly want to work with, because you really have to trust your intuition when you're dealing with certain people, because something could leave you stuck in something you don't want to be in for another 6 years, or something new could bring you in a different direction where it could actually end up being something that's really worthwhile and will actually give you more skills or teach you things along the way. And I think that there's time to do some research about people you're dealing with, how they're affecting you, how they affect your creativity, and the things that you don't get done maybe when you're around certain people, or the things that you think about, not being so stuck and rigid and set in your ways, because that doesn't really do a lot of favors all the time. It's okay to have core values and beliefs, but it's also important to, accept other people's, or just have an open mind when dealing with people in life. That we're always going to be learning no matter what. I just keep seeing energy of someone who knows what they want to do, has a plan, and has like in the process of manifesting or thinks about it a lot or genuinely wants to do this. But it's like the opportunities that have been handed to you, you either didn't notice them or you didn't want them, and you're really guarded to a lot of things that maybe is the reason you've missed opportunities. Maybe it's the reason that things have crashed and burned, because I feel like it was just time to make a decision. It was time to let something completely fall apart so that you could come back together in a new way. It was time to make that decision, and it was time to make that call so that you can have these connections, you can move forward and be truly happy and stable. And some of you guys, it's getting married. Some of you guys, it's falling in love. Some of you guys, it's saving up for something. Even if you're stressed out and you have a lot on your plate right now, you're going to get that new car. You're going to get this vacation. Maybe it's about letting other people win in an argument, letting them be who they are and not feeding into it, because I think that sometimes people just are who they are, and no matter amount of time and energy or money or love you could pour into them, it isn't going to change anything. I think that at the end of the day, communication is going to be really important, and it's also going to be time to, sit down and really make a genuine decision rather than the planning stage. Whether it's, even if it's slow moving, it's still moving, it's still constant, it's still consistent, and it's still a decision that was made. And I think that for some of you guys, they could be worried about what choice to make, and I think that the universe is just like, it's time to do this. They're going to be breaking down things left and right, so you're going to be kind of put in a scenario where you have to make a decision. And I think that it's best, or it's time to remember what it is that you truly want to do, where you want to go, what you truly like to do, and working on that, and practicing or putting the time and effort into things that truly matter, and knowing that all the rest of these things will fall in line, that if it's meant to be, that it will be, and it won't be stressful 24/7. It won't be causing you anxiety or pain or not being able to sleep. Will it be hard? Will there be struggle? Obviously, I think that's true, that will be there. That's not what I'm saying, that it's not going to be, that's going to be completely easy and there won't be any bumps in the road. I think that's always there. It's just what you do with it. We don't have a choice in the cards we're dealt, but we do have the responsibility to play the hell out of the ones we were given, because we don't get new ones. Sometimes we have to take the ones we have to accept them, look at them, face them, and move forward and play them the best way we know how, without being manipulative, without trying to convince someone of something, without the threat of leaving, being honest. Someone might need to be put in check about how it is that they're making you feel, how it is that at one point you guys were this happy little family, and now it's just like painful to even think about. And I think that it's important to just let things be what they are. Nothing is perfect. It's okay to be a little dark sometimes and spend some time in that energy and work on those things, because life is not butterflies and rainbows sometimes. But the only way we can have new opportunities and new things brought in is if we're able to face the old ones and accept them and say, you know what, I learned from this, and give it positive energy and let it go, so that we can have these new opportunities, so that no matter what happens, that you put a solid effort into it, you had good intentions, so that every scenario that could possibly happen moving forward won't be bad, because you didn't do anything wrong, anything to feel bad about. Some of you guys, commercial trade or online trading, or maybe stock market, or working with some businesses globally that are, other countries, maybe broadening the spectrum of people that you reach, or that will be happening. They're going to be, hearing your voice or your thoughts or your music, and I think that some of you guys, is your pain is what makes you so beautiful. Some of you guys have people that be willing to do anything and I don't want to say put up with anything, but they'd be willing to accept every single part of you and would still be genuinely happy. But it's time to let go of that fantasy or that delusion of what we thought it could be, or maybe what we think it is sometimes when we get paranoid, and to take this new step into something new, even if that means spending some time alone, even if that means, moving to a different location, even if that means telling this person, I do have feelings for you, but this is not for me. This is something that I need to do on my own. I need to move forward, because I'm not going to be in this situation anymore. I'm not going to be in this for another 6 years or 6 months. Communicating, to yourself, to the universe, putting all those things out there and walking away from things that no longer serve you, so that you can have these new opportunities. Some of you could be finding out you're pregnant in April or May, I'm hearing. Looks like it. Some of you guys, it's definitely a boy. Some of you guys, it's a girl. Some of you guys, with you walking away from this person that broke your heart, is going to be giving them the energy that they deserve. Some of you guys have this person that really wants to talk to you, but they also feel like there's something that they need to get off their chest, or there's something that they need to talk about or deal with in the meantime, and it could cause a conflict. But I feel like it's important to still be honest. It's important to still say what you need to say, and say it with your chest type energy. I think it's important for people to know that I could still love you. I could still have enjoyed our time together, but it's still time for me to go. And it doesn't have anything to do with this other person sometimes. Maybe it's just that time. Sometimes it is just time to walk away. Sometimes, no matter what happens, it is time to do what truly makes us happy instead of other people. Because true passion can bring about a lot of things. And if you're doing something that you truly love, then it will be satisfying and it'll make you happy. And then those around you that'll be reflected on them. Maybe it encourages the next person to do the same thing. Because a lot of us hold on to these things that have happened to us, but it's not really doing us any favors, because we're not letting it go. And living in the past is not going to create a new future. And it's not going to change what happened. It's not going to change anything about it. It's just reliving that. And I don't think that that's really healing. I think that things are going to happen the way they're going to happen, and you can still find happiness in whatever scenario in life that you're in, whether you're up or down. And I think that it's important to know that you've got a lot of people and opportunities around you, whether you can see them or not. But it's just like you taking that initiative and making the decision is going to be the turning point in your own life. Anyways, have a good night.